Fired up Biden shows gloves are off in January 6th anniversary speech. Let's talk about today's news in migration world. This time it's personal. On Friday, Joe Biden tore into his predecessor Donald Trump as never before. He brimmed with anger, disdain and contempt. He apparently had to stop himself from swearing. So much for when they go low, we go high, and plenty of Democrats will be just fine with that. If Biden was seeking to jolt his half-conscious 2024 re-election campaign into life, this may have done the trick. The palpable loathing of Trump took a good 10 or 20 years off him. Keep hating like this and he might do a Benjamin Button all the way to Election Day. There is no better illustration of Biden's evolution than a speech he delivered on the first anniversary of the January 6th insurrection. On that occasion, he denounced a web of lies but never mentioned Trump by name, preferring to cite the former president. Those were still the days when he would talk about the former guy and get a laugh. 2 years on, in an address near Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, Biden spoke the name Trump more than 40 times in less than an hour as he warned that his likely 2024 opponent would sacrifice American democracy to put himself in power. The 81-year-old president generally seems like a grandfatherly figure predisposed to give people the benefit of the doubt, which makes his detestation of Trump all the more striking. Trump's failure to act as a violent mob stormed the U.S. Capitol, despite the pleas of staff and family members, was among the worst derelictions of duty by a president in American history, Biden said, noting that Trump went on to lose 60 court cases that took him back to the truth that I had won the election and he was a loser. It was a jab to the ribs, since Trump hates nothing more than being branded a loser. The president went on to recall how Trump has called the insurrectionists patriots and claimed there was a lot of love on January 6th. At that, Biden shook his head, blinked and let out a gasp of disbelief, as if stunned anew by the assertion. The rest of the nation, including law enforcement, saw a lot of hate and violence, he said. Biden furiously denounced political violence and Trump's habit of joking about the big lie-influenced intruder who attacked Paul Pelosi, the former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband, with a hammer, saying, "And he thinks that's funny." He laughed about it. What a sick. He halted. At the last moment, the President of the United States had saved himself from uttering a profanity. The urge coursed through his body and found relief in his hands, which clenched into fists, as the crowd filled in with laughter and whooping. "My God," Biden said. "I think it's despicable, seriously, not just for a president but for any person to say that." Against a backdrop of 11 American flags and 4 faux Roman columns, Biden went on, "The guy who claims law and order sows lawlessness and disorder. Trump is planning a full-scale campaign of revenge and retribution," he said, and promised to be a dictator on day one. Trump has threatened to terminate the U.S. Constitution, impose the death penalty on military leaders who defied him and referred to dead soldiers as suckers and losers. Biden looked like he had a bad taste in his mouth. He was worked up and had to steel himself. He mused, "Sometimes I'm really happy the Irish in me can't be seen." Earlier this week CNN reported that younger aides on Biden's re-election campaign had been grimly joking about when to go full Hitler, making a direct comparison of Trump to the Nazi leader rather than merely saying Trump parroted him. Biden did not quite go full Hitler but he did observe, "He talks about the blood of Americans being poisoned," echoing the same exact language used in Nazi Germany. Democrats are often criticized for pulling their punches and refusing to fight dirty as Republicans do. For as long as Trump has been on the political scene, they have wrestled with the question of whether to rise above him or roll in the dirt with him. In 2018, the former Attorney General Eric Holder declared, "When they go low, we kick 'em." That's what this new Democratic Party is about. When the party's nominee in 2016, Hillary Clinton, referred to Trump supporters as deplorables, it fed a narrative of liberal elitism, but with ordinary Joe/Dark Brandon, it is harder to make that charge stick. Years ago, responding to Trump's misogyny, Biden said, "If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him." Tellingly, his aggressive tone on Friday was praised by Republican campaign veterans who are no strangers to politics as a blood sport. Rick Wilson, a co-founder of the Lincoln Project, wrote on X, "Everyone on the pro-democracy side of this fight should amplify the hell out of this." Biden held a private meeting with historians this week to discuss the state of democracy and framed his speech around George Washington, the founding president who willingly relinquished power rather than become a king. He said the things that need to be said about this election on the eve of another January 6th anniversary, an outrage that animates him just as the white nationalist march in Charlottesville did in 2020. There will be time enough to discuss the economy, border security, the climate crisis, reproductive freedom and foreign policy. His critics will ask why he cannot summon such righteous fury on behalf of Palestinian civilians. Voters will surely demand not only vivid Trump bashing but a positive vision for a second term. Friday was hardly an optimistic start to the new year. But for now, one thing is clear. The gloves are off and, assuming Trump wins the Republican nomination, this will be an election between combatants with a mutual abhorrence like none that has gone before. Thank you for watching the video. If the video was helpful, make sure to like, share and subscribe to this channel for the upcoming videos. See you in the next video.